Hello class, today we will be learning how to build characters. So there are many ways to build characters. You can start using a pencil and a piece of paper, or a character sheet, and filling out numbers from books. You can use spreadsheets on a computer, you can use character sheet generators, you can use PDFs, but my personal favourite is to use Dndbeyond. So, Dndbeyond is a D&D website that allows you to build characters, you can build encounters, run campaigns from it. It's a pretty much one-stop shop for most of D&D. Okay, so let's build ourselves a tiefling fighter. Ignore the amount of characters I have, it's an addiction, it's not my fault. So, click create character. Let's just go standard. We'll keep that on as well, so it will give you help tips when you're doing it. Nice and easy. A lot of these options you're going to get from, talk to your DM about it. They will let you know what they want. First off, let us name our fighter. Let's name him Dave, the fighter. Just to make sure everyone knows that this guy's name's Dave, and he is in fact a fighter. So, none of this is really needed right now, so we won't worry about it. That just allows you to roll digital dice, which is really fun. Watch this. Isn't it fucking cool? Ignore that, that's my own thing. That can go away. So again, all of this is mainly something that you'll get from your DM. Advancement type again, DM stuff, DM stuff, DM stuff. Let's go on to the fun stuff. First, choose a race. You have all of the races. Some of these are actually bought. So Kenku, Lizardfolk, Tabaxi, they all bought. Turtles bought. But everything else, Aarakocra, Dragonborn, Dwarf, Elf, Ganassi, Gnome, Goliath, Half Elf, Half Orc, Half Ling, Human, Tiefling, Aasimar, they are all standard races that you will get with a free subscription. So we'll pick Tiefling. It gives you a rundown of what the magical Tieflings do. So it gives you +2 Charisma, 1+1 Intelligence, Dark Vision, Hellish Resistance, and Infernal Legacy. And then there's a lot of other cool stuff. It just explains basically what it does. Click choose a race. We have chosen a Tiefling. Moving on to classes. So, all of these classes you can choose from. As we've discussed, we're going to go fighter. Again, brings up a little info panel, shows you what your hit dice and stuff are, which I'll explain in a minute. A few little character options that you get. We will add class. We'll start it at level 1, we're not going to go too high. And then you get some drop down boxes. First one just shows you how your hit points are calculated. So your hit points are 1d10 plus fighter level. Again, all of this is calculated for you. It is quite a useful system. So now we get to choose our proficiencies. We're proficient with all armor and shields, simple weapons, martial weapons, no tools, but that's not much of an issue. So now we can choose 2 skills. Since he's a fighter, let's give him athletics. And let's be intimidating as well. And then we can pick our fighting style. So this is a specific thing for a fighter. It's their kind of archetype, whereas like clerics get life domain and grave domain and all that. Fighters get fighting styles. So let's just go great weapon fighting. Just tells you underneath what it does. When you roll a 1 or 2 on damage dice, you can re-roll them nice and easy. And the last one is, and again, another character ability that you get. Move on to the next bit. This is the fun part where you get to just pick some numbers and the computer does everything else for you. I usually set my characters up using standard array. There are several ways of doing this. You can do standard array, which gives you 8, 10, 12, 13, 14 and 15 to put in these boxes. Manual, where you roll the dice. So again, this can all be done online. There we go. And the point buy system. So you've got 27 points, and you can plus and minus the points depending on what you want. But we'll stick with standard array for now. Since we are a fighter, we want big style strength. Let's go big style constitution, because that helps with like AC and stuff like that. And give a bit of dexterity. Let's make him dumb as fuck, wise as nothing, and not very charismatic. So once you've put these numbers in here, all of the modifiers and stuff are worked out for you, which is really useful. So yeah, since intelligence we get a +1 with our racial bonus, that's added there. Moving on, this is where you set up your backgrounds and stuff. So fighter, soldier, that kind of works, which again gives us more drop down boxes. Let's be proficient in medicine and stealth, and let's have a set of 3 Dragon Ante cards, because 3 Dragon Ante is actually a really fun game that I've been learning recently, so why the fuck not? Again, all of this is stuff that your character can do in game. You don't need to worry too much about it at the moment. Then you get to choose your characteristics. So this is basically like the personality of your character. Since I'm not really ever going to play this character, I'm just making it so you guys know what's going on. I'm just going to pick some random stuff. Have crude sense of humour and is always polite and respectful, because that makes no sense. You can either choose these, make up your own, or you can always roll for it. So let's randomise everything else. Sweet as a nut. And then you can choose all of this stuff. So let's make him chaotic neutral. Let's make him not have a faith, because I can't be bothered. Let's make him aristocratic, because that's just funny. Blue hair. Red skin, because you're tiefling. Black eyes, because it's funny. 6 foot, because I'm going to live vicariously through my characters. So being 5'7", I'd much rather like make my characters taller, so I can pretend I'm taller for once. 200 pounds. And he's going to be 25, so I can pretend to be younger than I actually am. And he's male. So personal characteristics is what we've just chosen. So you can see, oh, I've accidentally chosen evil. That's awesome. And then down here, this is all like backstory stuff. So when you get into a campaign, your DM will probably want you to write a backstory at some point. It's basically like how your character became what he is now, which is what you can fill out here, and fill out any particular personal enemies you may have. It's all, again, all in your mind. Make up whatever the fuck you want. Run it over with your DM. They usually say, yeah, that's cool. Or they'll just smile and laugh, which is what I usually do when players give me a backstory, because then I pick things out of it and use it to hurt them. For instance, one of my players decided to give me a backstory that their mother left them. Without any, they didn't die or anything, they just left the home. Well, Mummy came back. Mummy came back as a vampire. It was quite a good session. There were issues. People may have died, alignments may have been crippled, but it's fine. Anyway, moving on. This way you can choose your equipment. So you'll get a start in a equipment, so we can pick that now. We'll go leather, chainmail armor. Let's go a weapon and a shield. We'll use a greatsword, because that's cool. Get a ranged weapon. So when you click one of these, it tells you what is in it. So these again can be things you use in game. I've used rope quite a lot of the time. It's quite useful. But again, that's kind of stuff that you can just be like, hey DM, can I tie this rope to something and do something with it? And Sometimes it works really well, sometimes it's the worst thing you could ever do, but who cares? And the soldier starting equipment is like stuff, again, that can be used in backstory, like a broken blade that you broke across your enemy's back or something. Let's pick a deck of cards. There we go, starting equipment has been chosen. And once you've done that, you can either export it as a PDF, so you can take it to a game in person if you don't want to use a tablet or anything, or you can view your character sheet. And here it is. Ignore this. This is a plugin I've got to run things through Roll20. I'll explain that in another video. So, Dave the Fighter. Here are all of his constitution, all of his stats and modifiers, all of his skills. The little black dot, as it says, shows proficiency. If there's something you can't remember what it does or you don't know, either hover over it or click it and it will tell you. Like, we've got proficiency in strength saving throws. If you click that, it will tell you, there you go, a saving throw. That tells you what it is. Again, click on dexterity, acrobatics, it tells you what that does. All of this, just press it and it'll tell you what to do. So I mean, guides are pretty much redundant. I mean, I'm still going to make them because it's fun, but they're pretty redundant. Oh yeah, since we've got kind of baseline magic being tiefling, I think tieflings get some random stuff. We can, yeah, there you go. It says underneath it in flavor text, Infernal Legacy. That's thanks to our tiefling race. We can cast Thaumaturgy, which is always fun. Go into our equipment. Anything that's got a tick box means you can equip it. So if we equip Chainmail and our Greatsword, we can go into actions, and there they are. If you're using Dndbeyond, you can roll straight from Dndbeyond and it will roll the dice, add your modifier itself, give you it down in the bottom there. So you just rolled 15 to hit something with a Greatsword. That's probably going to hit, so let's roll damage. 12 damage. And that is how you make a character using D&D Beyond.